Hey guys, this is Gloria. I am back to share with you guys another design team project. I also will do a little tutorial on the rosettes that I got in my design team package. Only because some of you guys have asked for a tutorial. I know that Erica Scrap Diva 29 has made a tutorial, as well as Alina herself. I believe she has made a tutorial as well. But I figure if you guys ask me for one, I'll go ahead and do one as well. Sometimes, you know, different people, the way that they explain things may be a little different, and it may be helpful to others to have people explain things their way. So first off, let me show you guys the products that I use. So this time I use this little sample of Tulle, and it's in like a peachy pink kind of color. I also use the rosette dies, and I will link them down below. This is the main die right here, and this one just makes a straight edge heart rosette. You can also just use this piece to make a just a straight rosette without, you know, making it a heart. It can just be a circle rosette that we're used to. Then there's these other parts, and this one right here has hearts on the edges, and then this one has this kind of pretty doily looking edge to it as well. I believe that these three are sold separately, but they're linked together as one like product entry or something like that on AliExpress. So I'm going to show you how I actually made my rosette, and you know, so that you guys can see that. And then also I use this die. Cannot get enough of the little heart scallopy kind of die. Really, really cute die. So I use that as well. So let me show you the little rosettes that I completed. So here's the first one. And as you can see, this one has the heart on the top, and then it has a straight rosette in the back. And I just put a little bit of glitter on there. It's not actually all the way dry yet, so, you know, I'm just trying not to touch it as much. But I just used that tool at the bottom, and I put one of these little glittered balls in the middle of the bow, and then I have a little straw on there, and this becomes a little wand that you can put in your you know, like in a little holder or something like that on your desk. So that is one that I created. And then I'll show you the other one that I created. And I really, really like the way that this one came out. So this is another one that I created. For both of them, I did use Maggie Holmes bloom paper for the rosette itself. These are printables from AC Digitals, and I believe it comes from the Bloom printable, but I can't remember. This is a little heart from Maggie Holmes, and then here's that bow from AlinaCrafts, and then I put a little pom-pom in the middle, and then here's some of that pretty Maggie Holmes trim that I just wrapped all around the bottom of the straw, and, you know, just embellished it a little bit further. And this is how it looks on the back. I just put this little label on the back. You can use a circle or any kind of shape on the back. You just need something to hold the heart together. So let me show you guys what you need to do in order to make your rosette. So the first thing that I did was I started actually with a 6x6 sheet of paper, and this is a sheet of paper from the Bloom collection. And what I did was I just cut 2-inch strips with my paper trimmer. I did not bother even taking the top part off of the paper, because I actually needed the full length of this in order to run my die through my machine. Now you're only going to need 2 pieces, and this one I won't use only because it has the hole at the top. But you can actually use this, because you doing the heart, that doesn't even matter that it's there. So actually, I'll show you guys that. So I'll use these two, one with the hole in it and one without. You can do it however you want to, or you can use bigger paper. That way you won't have this part at the top. So the first thing that you're going to do after you cut that down, and like I said, I cut these at 2 inches, and I just kept the length, which is 6 inches plus this little border at the top. So it's probably about 6.5 inches. So the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to take this particular die right here, and this die actually puts the creases in so that you can fold up your rosette. It also has a cutting edge over here, but we really don't need that because we cut down our paper already. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to face your designer paper down on top of your die, and then you're going to run this through your die cutting machine. So I will be right back to share with you guys what that looks like. So I have my little die cutting machine that I keep on my desk, and these are perfect for cutting out these particular rosettes because they do fit on these plates. So all I'm doing is just running it through my little die cutting machine. This is a older Cuttlebug little machine, but you can actually find newer ones out there on the market now, but this one works just fine. I love it. So what you're going to do is you're just going to cut your rosette out, and once you cut it out, I'm not sure if the camera is picking that up or not, but there are lines right there, and those are going to be your fold lines. I definitely can't see it on the back, but I can see them on the front. So those are going to be your fold lines. So now you're pretty much done with that right there. You're going to have to cut out 2. And then depending on which border you want on your rosette, and in this case, I'm going to use the heart border, and I'm going to show you how to line this up. So you have your design paper, and you have your 2 pieces. And if you look at your pieces, they're opposites of each other. They also have a line, a straight line right up top right here. And then they have this little curved line right here. So what you want to do, or what I do, is I make sure that that straight edge right there is actually lined up to the top of my paper, okay? And then this part is just gonna, you're just gonna put it on your paper and just maximize the amount of paper that you use, if that makes sense. So what I'm saying is, if you put that on the straight edge of your paper right here, I mean, you can make it this way and make it smaller, or you can maximize the area of your die cut by bringing it back. Just as long as this edge right here doesn't go off the paper, then you should be fine. And so what you want to do from there is you want to make sure that it's lined up, and you also want to make sure that you use some washi tape to hold that down with, because you don't want your die to shift in your cutting machine. So I'm just going to hold that down. I'm going to put the majority of my washi tape on the back side, because in that way, even if my washi tape kind of nicks my paper or pull my paper up, then it won't mess up my my rosette area. And so you're going to do the same thing over here. You're going to line the straight edge right there up with the straight edge of your paper. You're going to get it right in the corner, line it up, and then maximize your paper. And then you're going to just tape it down and get it ready to be ran through your machine. So the next thing to do is just, put it back on your little cutting plate, and I'm just going to run it back through my machine. So I'm going to use my little machine again. I'm just going to run it on through. And gently pull it off of your paper, because you don't want to tear your paper, and you don't want to mess up your rosette. And see, I didn't get it all the way to the edge like I should have, but that's okay. All you have to do is take your scissors and just cut that little part off. But ideally, you want to get that to the edge of your paper so that you won't have that situation happen. So for this one, I'm going to try to get it to the edge, but, kind of standing up doing this, so I may not get it all the way to the edge, but that's okay. So I'm just going to run this one through. Cut it just like I did the other one, okay? And then again, we're going to gently release that. And that one, see, that one cut off much better than the other one. But I'm going to just gently pull my paper away from this little edge die so that I won't nick my paper. And so then you're pretty much done with your cutting for now. And so you have these two pieces that look like this. And so the hearts now are actually your edges. So your paper should be pretty much like this. Now you can do this one of two ways. You can actually glue this together first before before you go back and forth with your score marks, or you can score your paper first. It's up to you. If you don't glue it together first, you'll have to remember to whatever edge you like. If I'm starting this one going down, then I need to start this one going up. Okay, and if you do that in the beginning, because see, it's going to sit just like that, then you won't mess up. And so now all I'm going to do is score or fold on my score marks. And like I said, I'm standing up and I can barely see these score lines. So I'm just going to bring it up to me a little bit so that I can see it a little bit better. But all I'm doing is just folding this on the score marks that the die made for me. Once I get all of that folded, then I'll do the same thing to the other one. And then we'll be pretty much ready to put our rosette together. So I just give it a good squeeze to make sure that it's all folded good. And this one I already started the opposite way. So all I have to do is just continue to fold it. That way you just don't forget which way you started your other side, because you just want it to be opposite of what you started the first time. And all I'm doing is just folding this back and forth on my score lines to produce my little accordion like folds, right? And there we go. And then just kind of give it a good squeeze. So now what we're going to do, it doesn't matter if you want to do the, glue the top or the bottom first. So all I'm going to do is best thing to do is actually use some wet glue, because I found that using the hot glue, sometimes it doesn't want to cooperate. But for sake of the video, I'm going to go ahead and use some hot glue, and all I'm going to do is just line one part up on top of the other, just like that. And I put a little bit too much glue, but that's okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the top. I'm just going to put some glue right here, and I'm going to just put those two together just like that. So let's do that really quickly. And then I'm just putting them together just like that. Okay. Ooh, make sure they're together. Okay. So then all you have to do is you will need, now where did my little circle go? I don't even know where my little circle went to. You're going to need something to hold your rosette together. Just like as if you were making any other kind of, a regular circle rosette. You just need a little circle or a, kind of punches that. I need a circle punch. So give me 1 second, guys, because I have no idea what happened to my little, oh, there we go. I got it. So what you're going to do is you're going to train your rosette to create your little heart. Okay, and see how easy that was? All I did was just flipped it down and it actually created my heart. But I want to do it on the back because I want to put my little circle piece on there. So I'm just going to put this together as best I can, and I'm going to put my glue, my hot glue, in the middle, and I'm going to take my little scrap piece of paper, and while I'm holding that down, I'm just going to be squeezing my heart together and making sure that it's making the heart shape that I want, but that it's also fanning out and doing what I need it to do. And then just kind of hold it down a little bit to make sure that it kind of sets up. and that did not set up well. So I'm going to go back and do that again because that did not set up well. But you want to make sure that it sets up well before you start releasing it. So let's do that again. And I'm just going to use that same little circle and just kind of hold it and allow it to set up, because it wants to kind of pull apart and you don't want it to pull apart. And all I'm doing is just kind of pinching it, you know, we're just pinching it back together because, you know, it just looks better when it's pinched all together. Now I got glue on the mat, so be careful for that too. But that is pretty much it. That is how you make the heart rosette. And then what you're going to do is you're going to embellish the front, you know, with whatever you want to embellish it with. I was thinking about maybe just putting this in the middle part of this heart. So I'm just going to get a little bit more hot glue, put it in the middle, and I'm just going to stick this little rosette on top of that one. I'm going to kind of hold it in place so that it'll hold. I swear, when you want hot glue to hold quickly, it won't. But when you don't want it to hold quickly, it does. It's so crazy. But that's about it. That is how you make the little rosette. So I hope that was helpful to someone in learning how to make these little heart rosettes. And you can use all kind of wavy borders that you may have in order to create one of these little wands that you can stick down in some Happy Mail or something like that. So that is about it, guys. As always, if you guys have any questions or comments, just leave them down below and I'll get back with you as soon as I possibly can. Take care, guys. Bye.